it's Martin Levy again from the Levy Group, ITRA Global London. Welcome back to my video blog. Today we're talking about leases. The length of leases, break clauses, all the things that an incoming tenant to the UK will need to know about. New entities and startups coming to the UK are rarely going to take a lengthy lease. In fact, in my experience, that's a rarity. I would say up to 5 years is about the norm. A mid-term break would be fantastic, certainly that there's no penalties involved on that, because some landlords are quite cute and will want a penalty. The other thing to take into account is that any break clauses that you can get along that lease journey is only going to be to your advantage. It may reduce the amount of flexibility in terms of negotiation, both in terms of rent and potentially on incentives like rent-free periods, but I always err on the side of caution. In fact, on behalf of one company, Pindrop Security, based in Atlanta, we've been able to negotiate and secure annual breaks at 12, 24, 36 and 48 months without a penalty, which is basically unheard of. So I'm really proud of that. Rent and service charges are generally paid on a quarterly basis in advance, whereas business rates, property taxes here in the UK, are generally paid on a monthly basis. You can actually get away with that on 10 monthly instalments. Modern commercial leases will incorporate rental escalations, which in the case of the UK generally will be on a 5-year upward only basis. There are opportunities, of course, to have those reviewed, and you can have an earlier break or maybe stepped rentals, which will go across the lease cycle. Whilst a floor area will generally be in all marketing material, whether that's digital or physical on paper, it's rare, and perhaps somewhat disconcertingly so, you won't find it recorded in a lease. And it's often the point of contention when it comes to negotiation on either a rent review or a lease renewal. And you'll end up having to take that watershed moment to renegotiate, remeasure, and hopefully recalculate. Hopefully your canny tenant representative will negotiate a rent-free period or other form of tenant incentives, perhaps a capital contribution to help defray some of the cost of building out the space. So with the help of an experienced workplace consultant who will produce your plans, your specification, maybe some graphics, you'll require landlord's consent to commence those works. But remember, you can't start until the lease and all the supporting documentation has been formally executed. You know, it may sound strange to be talking about creating an exit strategy when you're just acquiring your first or maybe even your second office, but it's very important because landlords at the end of the lease will serve on the tenant a terminal schedule of dilapidation and wants of repair. It's a long-winded way of saying that you could and are likely to be asked by the landlord to take down all your tenant improvements. It could be petitioning, it could be a new shower, it could be a kitchen facility that you've put in, it could be underfloor trunking, or anything you've removed that was in the landlord's base build. And I always advise clients to take that into account at an early stage, even if you're on a 5-year journey. So the advice I give you is, importantly, create some form of annual fund. Put the money aside so you will not have that big bill at the end. We'll always help mitigate that.